The new cathedral in the Spanish city of Salamanca has been one of the main attractions of the city for almost 3 centuries. However, it only became a real sensation in 1995, and all because a bas-relief of a person in a spacesuit was discovered on its walls. Just imagine, an astronaut on a 300-year-old building. After the discovery, some began to say that aliens once visited Earth, while others believed it was a greeting from time travelers. I don't know about you, but I love movies about time travel. It would be wonderful to hop into a car and go back 10 years, meet your past self and explain that it would have been better to invest in Bitcoin instead of taking your girlfriend to Paris with saved money, and end up with not a ruined vacation, but millions. It's a pity that time travel is only possible in movies. Or is it not just in movies? In fact, each of us can be considered a time traveler. During this video, you will be transported forward by about 8 minutes. But along with you, your neighbors, relatives from another city, millions of strangers, trees outside the window, the moon, the sun, and myriad objects in the universe will also move. This journey is familiar and unsurprising. It would be much more interesting to leap forward in time faster, my friend. And it's possible. If you believe in Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, according to it, for objects moving at different speeds, time also flows differently. The theory of relativity allows for time travel into the future. For this, you could, for example, get on a hypothetical or existing spacecraft that, with high acceleration and speed, makes a loop and returns to Earth. The person returning to our planet would end up in the future. They might spend a year in the spacecraft, but on Earth, 100 years or more would have passed. However, achieving such results requires incredible speed. To travel from the moon to Earth, it takes about a second for a beam of light, and in an hour, it covers over 1 billion kilometers. Spending a whole year in a spacecraft moving at such a speed would mean that 20 years would pass on Earth. Returning, you would indeed make a leap in time. But for now, humanity only dreams of such speeds. The fastest object created by humans, the Parker Solar Probe, cannot accelerate faster than 700,000 kilometers per hour. Is that the limit? If we want to go beyond the solar system, we need ships that will move faster than the speed of light because it's too slow to travel to other stars. In this case, humanity has only one hope for fast movement: the warp drive. Almost all science fiction enthusiasts have heard about ships with warp drives. The principle of their operation is the warping of space. In theory, they compress it in front of the ship and unfold it afterward. Here's how you can explain it with a simple example. Watch a woman putting on stockings. She gathers them into a bundle, inserts her fingers into the toe, and stretches them up her leg. This is how a ship with a warp drive should move in space. Scientists from around the world have been working on creating such ships for many years. If they succeed, people will be able to move almost instantly between star systems. However, the time inside such a ship will neither slow down nor speed up, so this method is not suitable for time travel to the past or future. It's hard to believe, but to make a journey through time, you don't need to move anywhere. Right now, you can lie down on the floor, and in 2 hours when you get up, you will see the incredible and marvelous world of the future. Because compared to the cat watching you from the couch, you will have moved forward by billionths of a second. And this will happen thanks to Einstein's theory of general relativity. Gravitational fields distort time and space. If you take the most accurate clocks, synchronize them on Earth, and place one set at the bottom while the other goes flying on an airplane, after some time, it will turn out that those in the air, further from Earth's gravity, are ticking faster. At an altitude of 20,000 meters, this difference will be 45 millionths of a second per day. Russian cosmonaut Sergei Krikalev is a world record holder for time travel. In 2005, he spent 179 days in orbit around the Earth, and during that period moved into the future by 0.02 seconds. Such time shifts are not exclusive to astronauts. In 2024, the spacecraft Neptune will ascend to the stratosphere. Unlike research probes, this will be a tourist spacecraft, marking a new era that opens up space for everyone. Tickets for Neptune cost $125,000, and all tickets are already sold out. The spacecraft will reach an altitude of 30 kilometers and spend 6 hours there. This means that Neptune's passengers will also experience time travel, albeit by a fraction of a second in those 6 hours at that altitude. However, people dream of a different kind of time machine. They want to know what will happen in 100 or 200 years. Even better, they'd like to go back in time and prevent themselves from making foolish or dangerous decisions. But is it possible? If I were to travel 100 years into the future, I would bring information that was already known. And if I traveled 100 years into the past and brought information I know now, the past century should have changed with my arrival, altering our present time. A temporal paradox or a grandfather paradox would occur. It's not named that for nothing. Imagine going back in time, meeting your grandfather, and accidentally preventing him from meeting your grandmother. As a result, you wouldn't be born, wouldn't grow up, and wouldn't be able to travel back in time. However, some scientists claim that the universe itself protects against such interference. Imagine your friend slipping on a banana peel and falling. You decide to save him from falling, take out a temporal smartphone and send a message, "Watch out for bananas." He receives it in the past, and at the moment he reads it, doesn't look down, doesn't see the banana peel, and falls. What is destined to happen occurs. This is called the principle of self-consistency. Other scientists believe that by changing the past, you would create a parallel universe. There are those who argue that an insurmountable barrier separates the past from the present. There are many theories, but what about practicality? In July 2022, Switzerland restarted the Large Hadron Collider. A few years ago, it helped make the greatest discovery, finding the Higgs boson, the smallest indivisible particle of matter. Now, researchers claim that the Higgs boson has an antiparticle, the Higgs singlet, and these particles can supposedly travel through time, both forward and backward. Humans cannot move back in time and perform actions that could cause a temporal paradox. However, if in the future, scientists learn to control the production of Higgs singlets, they could use them to send messages to the past or future. Whether the Large Hadron Collider becomes a time machine and when it might happen is unknown. Perhaps it has already happened for our descendants. However, the image of the cosmonaut on the cathedral in Salamanca is unlikely to have any connection to this phenomenon. An explanation for this was found quite quickly. In 1992, the building underwent restoration, and one of the sculptors decided to leave a mystery on the wall for future generations to keep them dreaming about time travel.